Breaking news. This is WYFF News 4 at 6 in high definition.
Okay, take a look here. Through that sky cam, we get a view of London, Kentucky. This is courtesy of our affiliate WLEX TV. It's a time lapse of storms that rumbled through this part of Kentucky within the last hour.
They are headed to the Carolinas and Georgia. Chief Meteorologist John Sesrich is here. John, when will they get here?
You know, probably, Carol, along the Tennessee and North Carolina line around 10 o'clock this evening. As you can see right now, things are very quiet. We could see a pop-up shower, maybe a thunder shower as we go through early this evening. But those thunderstorms that are in Kentucky will race through Tennessee as we go through the overnight hours, especially later this evening. And they're going to turn, now they're moving eastbound, but in the next hour or two, they're going to turn southeast and race off to the southeast at up to 50 miles per hour. So counties in North Carolina that border along Tennessee, this is just after 10 o'clock tonight. And the straight line winds will be the main threat from these thunderstorms. We could see damaging winds well over 60 miles per hour. The line will break up somewhat, but we could still see severe thunderstorms producing some isolated damaging winds even in through the upstate and outside of the mountains at around 2 o'clock in the morning. And then things get pretty quiet as we go through tomorrow morning. Then they'll fire back up again by tomorrow afternoon. But we'll have to watch these thunderstorms closely. They'll produce a lot of lightning, damaging winds, maybe some hail, and very heavy rainfall as these thunderstorms move from northwest to southeast across the area later this evening and overnight tonight. Now back to you, Carol.
Thank you, John. We want to show some of the damage left behind from the storms in Nebraska. This storm system is not the one headed toward us, but we wanted to show the video from storm chasers in Seward. You can see swirling winds build, lifting dirt and debris into the air. The storm burst had winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. Other parts of Nebraska had to deal with flooding. Vehicles were partly submerged in high floodwaters. Rafts were used for rescues. Hail pelted homes. Some counties reported hail the size of tennis and softballs.
We have some new information tonight on that story of a sheriff's deputy who shot a man at a Citgo Corner Mart in Greenville County. It happened earlier this week on Piedmont Highway. The man shot was unarmed. It all started with a complaint about a suspicious vehicle parked at the pumps here for 2 hours. The coroner's office tonight tells us Jordan Browder was shot more than once, and despite witness accounts, the coroner says he has no evidence that Browder was inside the vehicle when he was shot. Browder was a passenger. The driver, Dylan Tiller, was arrested, and his charges include weapons and drugs. WYFF News 4 has confirmed the future of the hot air ballooning festival known as Aloft is in jeopardy. The list of people owed money is growing tonight. WYFF News 4's Angela Rodriguez is here with the latest on this. Angela, the festival can't pay its vendors, right?
Michael, that's what we're hearing from the organizers and the vendors. It's been 9 days since the festival ended, and right now, Simpsonville city leaders are trying to get a hold of organizers to find out where their money is. You may remember the festival still owes the city tens of thousands of dollars in back rent from the 2013 festival. Through the Freedom of Information Act, we obtained the payment plan worked out between Aloft and Simpsonville city leaders. The interim city manager confirmed late this afternoon that the festival has defaulted on that agreement by missing the May payment. Aloft was scheduled to pay the city $2,000 plus interest on May 31st. We tracked down the Aloft Board of Directors President Chuck Morton at his day job. He declined our request for an interview, but he admitted that the festival has not paid its vendors. He says organizers need more time to figure out what to do next, and he promised to give us more information in the next few days. And here's a look at the big bills coming up for Aloft. In June, the festival owes Simpsonville $7,500 plus interest. Then in July, it owes the city more than $12,000, and that's just to cover 2013. In August, the festival owes $30,000 to the city of Simpsonville, and that is for the 2014 festival. Again, even organizers admit tonight that the future of this festival in Simpsonville is in jeopardy.
Thanks, Angela. In Anderson County, deputies tell us they've arrested a man accused of stabbing his girlfriend this morning. The stabbing was at a home on Tall Pines Road. Investigators say the boyfriend took off after the stabbing, but they found him earlier this evening. 22-year-old Keenan Williford is being held in the Anderson County Jail. He is charged with attempted murder. Deputies believe an argument led to gunfire at a convenience store in Anderson County. Here's a look at the damage there. This is the Sunoco on West Whitner Street. The store clerk says 5 to 6 shots were fired. One of the store's windows shattered. Deputies say several shell casings were found in the parking lot. There have been no reports of injuries.
A parole board has denied early release for a former pageant official convicted of a child sex crime. 50-year-old Joy Sanders is serving a 14-year sentence for committing a lewd act on a minor. He is the former executive director of the Miss South Carolina pageant. Sanders is expected to spend only 7 years behind bars. The Department of Probation, Pardon, and Parole says Sanders is receiving a day credit for each day he serves with good behavior.
Commitment 2014 now. A new poll has some good news for South Carolina incumbents. Over the last 2 weeks, 400 Republicans and 400 Democrats took part in Clemson University's Palmetto poll. Today, the research was released. The poll has Governor Nikki Haley ahead of Vincent Shaheen in the November election. And this is a look at the Senate race for Tuesday. The poll gives Lindsey Graham 49% of the vote, beating out the 6 Republicans running against him. Lee Bright is the closest with 9%.
If they had all gotten into a room and said, okay, I quit, you run, we'll all get behind you, that might have made a difference. But of course, that never happened. And no one of those candidates was ever able to get traction to where they could outdistance even themselves.
The poll also showed Senator Tim Scott doing well next Tuesday.
A bill that bans powdered alcohol in South Carolina is awaiting the governor's signature tonight. Lawmakers approved it as part of a larger measure that deals with alcohol licensing. Senator Larry Martin says he proposed this ban because current state law applies only to alcohol in its liquid form. He says there is little indication that federal regulators will try to stop efforts to sell the product, also known as palcohol.
You know, we were faced with this stuff possibly coming to market later this summer or fall, and us having nothing in our law and it being sold to anybody that had the money to buy it.
This current ban is in effect for 1 year. Senator Martin says that would give lawmakers more time to find ways to deal with powdered alcohol.
State lawmakers could finalize plans this week on a statewide ban on texting while driving. The proposal would require drivers to be fully parked while texting on a wireless handheld device. But it would permit the use of GPS navigation and allow texting to contact emergency services. The measure would supersede any local ordinances across the state. That includes Greenville's, which is more restrictive.
We would have preferred a hands-free ordinance statewide, not something that really splits hairs over what the driver is doing with the cell phone.
Greenville Mayor Pro Tem David Sudduth says state proposal would be harder to enforce. He says it's tough to distinguish how the driver is using that cell phone.